in general. Awesome. Thank you, Brian. And as we kind of teased there, we're going to do something a little bit different for the Walking the Talk this week. A little bit of an experiment to just have us talk through some of the things we've been working on and our approach to tactical improvements to how we can run improv communities, improv theaters, and how we can collaborate on this thing. So it'll be a little bit shorter episode rather than the back and forth between guests and hosts. I'm just going to talk through some things and share what we've been doing actually on our website, because we've been putting some new content out on the website that is part of our overall goal to make information about the organization and information about how we run things easier to find, more transparent, so that people can come to our community and know what they're getting into and make decisions about whether they feel like that's a good place to do improv, which we hope it is. That's our whole goal, is to make this a wonderful place to do improv. And so I'm going to actually share my screen and share a few different pages on our website. We're going to kind of see how this goes because I haven't shared our website on a YouTube video before, and I don't know how large it's going to be. I open up this other screen, we'll take a look at that. But I want to talk through just a few different pages that you may not be aware of. All of these pieces of information sit underneath the About header from our main web page. Let's do this cool thing where I move myself over here. There's gonna be a nice little moment where I am repeated on the screen a bunch of times. That'll be fun. Okay, good. That looks like it's coming through nice and clearly. People may be familiar with kind of the overall Highwire site, the most common things being classes, shows, submitting for things, etc. But we have this big About section, which has a bunch of information. The most fun page on this header is our pets page. If you have some pets and you're part of the Highwire community, send us a picture of your pet and the name of your pet. And when it loads, it will go from this ugly table of scroll bars to some wonderful pictures of our pets, which is a lot of fun. We need more pets. But more seriously, we have a public version of our mission statement, our core values, and some links to other important information about the organization. And these are the things that we want to make sure that the community is aware of. They can always easily find and see, and that we are held accountable to follow up on when we do anything within the Highwire community. You can see here the mission statement: Highwire's mission to steward a community of artists committed to growth, collaboration, joy, and justice in Baltimore and around the world through improvisational theater. And then our 4 core values: community, safety, transparency, and action. And we want to make sure that these are front and center. People know, specifically how we are taking an approach to building an improv community with those things at the front. In addition to kind of that information, you can find details about all of the committees that we have. One of the things that's really nice about Highwire at this point is that we have a lot of collaboration among the community, particularly the people who are based in Baltimore, but not exclusively, in working through growing and building the kind of infrastructure of this organization as we get larger and larger and take on more responsibility. And that wouldn't be possible without participation of people in our committees, of which there are 5. If this is something that you're interested in becoming a part of, you can read the descriptions of those committees here and send us an email to join those committees. We welcome any interest and any feedback on those. And what is also nice here is we have recordings and information about all of our all community meetings. So we have public meetings once a month to go over everything that we're doing in the Highwire community, everything from all the different committees, as well as kind of overall financial updates and overall organizational updates, so that people can stay informed, even if they are not active in a large number of shows that month. They can always come in and check on what's happening. And if they miss the meetings, you can always go back to these links and catch the recording. And we'll keep updated information about when the next meeting is and where to go. This was February's meeting. We've been doing them typically on the second Tuesday of the month. And after this little presentation, I'm going to go update this to add the link from that month, as well as put the new Zoom up for March. Additionally, within this About header, you can also find information about our policies. There's a lot of detail in these. These are kind of the much more fine-grained versions of some of the components that you saw on the mission values page, as well as some of the other things that we put out. If you want to get into really specific detail about how we do anything and provide feedback, that's always something that you can do. For example, we have the code of conduct that we send out to all troops before performing. You can see it's a Google Doc. It's open to the public to view, and obviously is in significant more detail than some of the kind of more introductory information that's on the website. And the hope is that that'll be available as a resource if anybody wants to get into very specific detailed questions about anything that we do. It's really important as well for things like payments or conflict of interest or scholarship policies, for example. And this is something that in future versions of this show, what we would like to do is collaborate with some other theaters and actually get into the really, really fine-grained details of some of these policies, debate how things like a scholarship policy can and should work. And then finally, the last thing that I wanted to share is we've created a new page called Transparency that will provide information about various metrics and disclosures that we think are important for the community to see. The first one that we've added is a complaints and resolutions tracker, which connects to something that's also on this policy page, which is a Highwire complaint form. If you have any issue with an experience in Highwire, there's an optionally anonymous form that you can fill out to have that reviewed by the team and to have kind of remediating action taken. And we're going to keep track and present here information about how many people have submitted those complaints, how many have been resolved as deemed by the submitter, and any notes that are pertinent to that. So if we've made any policy changes as a result of a complaint that's been submitted, or any change to how we process those complaints, that type of information would be here. We're looking at adding other pieces of data to this transparency page. For example, basic financial updates, basic audience updates, how many people are watching the shows, how many people are participating in workshops, things like that. And we take any feedback that you may have on what you'd like to see here. The goal with all of this is to provide clear, concise information to the community that they find relevant. So if there's something that we don't have here that you'd like to see, definitely reach out to Highwire Improv, probably easiest through our Gmail account, or if you want to reach out to one of us directly, that's fine. And take a spin around the website. We'd love to have feedback on what else you'd like to see, as well as how easy it is to find information. One of the things we really want to work on as we get bigger is making that information as easily accessible as possible, and looking at some examples like Hoopla in the UK, for example, who have a really, really wide range of information for improvisers and teachers of all levels of experience. We want to kind of follow that model and build out more and more content here for you to kind of have an insight into the organization, even if you're not actively working on a committee. So that's really it. I think we're going to stop with that. A shorter version of this, obviously, but hopefully that spurs some interest and hopefully clarifies where you can find some of the information on our website. We'll probably mix in some more of these kind of more presentational versions of Walking the Talk moving forward, maybe on specific topics like individual policies. So if there's anything you'd like us to do that for, please let us know. And otherwise, have a wonderful evening, and thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. We are back again every day. We're in the middle of an 84 consecutive days of improv for season 2, which we really love. And with that,